Bad job, actually, kicking against the wind. They likely need a bit more speed on the ground. Obviously, if they kick the ball up there quickly, I think he'd be a bit slow, especially kicking against the wind.
And Waterman's coming out on towards forward flank. Back in the centre. Well, now, we'll just see what happens here, because the Breezes were 4 to 5 goals, and Mines will be kicking with it, and if they're going to have a part in the premiership, this is their quarter.
Peter Betty, observation of mine has gone defensive.
Sloane's gone back to the forward pocket. No, I don't think they've gone defensive. I think they just put their players back to where they normally play.
Well, here go Mines. Big kick from them from the centre. Shane Sherwood. They'll have to score in this quarter. Mundy's in there. It comes out to Wellington. Wellington runs down the centre half-back position as the Breeze carries the kick up in the air, up into the centre. Good mark, Waterman. He adds pace, kicks it out of the centre of the ground, up towards centre half forward. It comes away now through Mines Rovers as they relieve the pressure through Niski. Up it goes towards Peter Rowe. He marks on the right half forward flank. Go long, son. Kick it long with the Breeze. He's got the idea this time. It lobs up at full forward. Mundy's there. He fumbles, loses possession. He's pushed in the back and he's going to get a free kick.
Oh, never.
46 seconds gone in the first quarter. And it evened up the other one. Well spoken. We've got a very diplomatic man here to help me get us through these tricky ones, Elson. And thank you, Dr. Munir, to cushion my way through that one, because I was wondering what I was going to say. But we've got the diplomacy of a man that's been in some very stronger debates than broadcasting a game of football. Mundy, can he put Mines back in the picture? He can. It's a straight kick. It's through the middle, and they get their second. On the APCO hardware scoreboard here, we see Mines move along to 2 goals 3, and the Lions are 5 goals 3. APCO hardware scoreboard, Radio West Football.
We hope you're enjoying today's... Brunswick Foodland, G-Grab Timber Supplies, the Mayfair Hair Salon, Kevin Woolcock Motors and Makita Power Tool. Radio West Football.
It's a goal to Mines Rovers in the opening minute of the second term. They move on to 2-3, trading Harvey Brunswick 5 goal 3, and this is very much a 4 to 5 goal Breeze. There's the tap down, won by Fontana. At the back of the pack is Dabrowski, and there's a free kick awarded here. I don't know what happened there, but it's the little champion pushing the back, says Peter Betty, and it's Graham Jeffries that takes possession, goes for the short pass and finds Graham Jones. He will elect to go onto that left foot as he always does, up the half forward. Out to meet the ball there is Tony Strano. Can't get boot the ball, they've got him covered. It's picked up over there, however, by Faulkner. He's 40 metres out, shoots up to the full forward position, and big Bernie Sloane lumbers across and pulls in a beauty. A good mark to Bernie Sloane. He's had eyes only for the ball. The legs went one way, the arms the other, and he's pulled it down right in front of goals. He'd be, 10, 12 metres out, and he's just on a slight angle. Well, let's see what Bernie Sloane can do with one. Reaches down for the little bit of grass to see what way the Breeze is growing. Well, he'd certainly know what that was all about. He runs in, deliberate shot at goal, and he pops it right through the high diddle. That's a great goal to the Harvey Brunswick Lions, to the big fellow himself in Bernie Sloane. So on the APCO hardware scoreboard, we see the status quo is maintained as Harvey Brunswick move up to 6 goals 3, leading Mines Rovers 2 goals 3.
Our presentation on Radio West coming to you from Hands Oval today on Radio West Football. Yes, and a very valuable one into the Breeze, Peter Betty.
Yes, Faulkner from Waitman centre half forward. Just what do you think about that, Doc? I think that Faulkner might be a bit slow there. Someone like Hutchison or Waterman at centre half forward, kicking against the wind, got a bit more pace when the ball dropped short.
They got a bit of luck there at that centre bounce decision and took full advantage of it.
OK, well, the doctor and us, we all agree on that decision in the middle of the ground with Graham Jeffries getting it out there. Well, that was an excellent turnover there for the Lions. Up they go again. Negative bounce down there. Socket out of the pack by Jeffries. He's picking up kicks now over to Waterman. Can't take possession. Winterton takes it for the Miners. They scramble for the ball. In there is Crogdaly. In there is Winterton. Gee whiz, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that pack. And the umpire will run over and bounce it down. Umpire Kosh. Umpire, I should say, Mike Hiltz. Doing a good job, him and umpire Netherland. And there's a little bit of byplay there between Winterton and Waterman. Neither of them want to get their legs apart. I don't know what that was all about.
Couple real gentle creatures, that's all.
Yeah, weren't they? Testing each other's strength of the leg department. There's the tap away by Jeffries over to Waterman. Back to Skian. Over to Austin-Iedo, who's back on the ground. Comes to Glenn Hutchinson. He fumbles the hand pass. Socket forward by Iedo. He's back on the ground after that heavy knock, but running into the meet the ball there. Oh, it's Macri. He's playing good football. Oh, well. Zippity-doo-dah. Gee whiz, I couldn't agree with that one, Dr. Bonilla. He was going for the ball head down, was grabbed around the neck and had the kick given against him.
Very strange.
Okay, the kick out of the fence now. We see the Miners up to the middle of the ground they go. Tap forward over there by Shane Sherwood. The ball hits the pack, but it's Crognali that takes possession. Are they getting away now, the Lions? Up the half forward they go. Out to meet the ball is Strano. He ducks and weaves over there. That's Tony Strano. Hand passes to Macri. Macri up the full forward. And at the back of the pack taking a very good mark there is Mario Tartaglia, who came onto the ground at the first term break. Well, Mario Tartaglia, you picked it, Peter Betty. I didn't even realise he wasn't out there until you discussed it at the quarter time break. But Mario Tartaglia, the usual full forward for the Lions, has pulled in a beauty. Right full forward pocket. This would be a very handy goal into this breeze. He lines up. Standing on his mark there is the other Miners. They're looking a little bit jaded at this stage of the game. If he kicks this one, and there it is. It was a little bit set. It's a 50-metre penalty. Gary Winterton's pointing at the umpire, but the umpire will have none of that. And we see now that Tartaglia has been brought right up, right on the line, and he'll pop this one through. I don't know what happened there, John Dillon. You might be able to describe it to our listeners.
Well, I couldn't see anything physical take place, Peter. There was no body contact. It must have been, for the benefit of listeners, there's oftentimes things said that we don't hear up here, and possibly that could have been the only reason that I would see it. But it's 2 goals into the breeze for the Lions up at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter on the APCO Hardware scoreboard. It's the Lions that lead, 7 goals 3. Mines Rovers are 2 goals 3 on Radio West Football.
We hope you're enjoying today's broadcast match of the day. Proudly brought to you by Spencer Motors, New Brown Timber Suppliers, Umbrella and Estate Agents, Regular Hire, Zurich Pickup Motors, Roy Weston and Makita Power Tools. Radio West Football.
Centre of the ground now. We look at the 6-minute mark gone in the second quarter, and Mines would have to get some goals on the board now because they are using the breeze, and Peter Betty just commented those 50 metres hurt, Peter, don't they?
They hurt all right. Shouldn't be in footy.
There goes the bounce down in the centre. Graham Jones wins the tap, and the Lions are whipping that ball away now. We talked about their run. It's Macri over to Jeffrey. Left half forward flank centres the ball over towards centre half forward. Socket off the ground by Mines Rovers, and they will relieve the pressure through Weineman over into the open spaces. Peter Rowe has possession. He's got 2 Lions players there to cope with, and the ball goes out of bounds. So it's about 6.5 minutes gone, second quarter, and Mines, as we say, kicking with the breeze. They're on the negative side of the ground, over on that right centre wing. They'd be playing right into the Lions' hands if they can bottle it up over there. And the Lions use the ball well, and the mark has come down there and taken by Hutchison. Hutchison will go back now and kick this ball into the breeze. It's a high one, up towards the half-forward line. The mark is taken in defence there by Niski. He'll go back and hold up the attack for Mines. He'll come straight in towards the centre of the ground. They're starting to switch the play now. They look better when they do that, as the ball is taken for them by Bradley Barrett. Clever play. Over it goes. That's better football, as they find Moises in the right full forward pocket, and they need to get a goal from here as we look at about the 8-minute mark on the DeVore clock on the APCO Hardware scoreboard. It's 7-3 Mines. Harvey Brunswick lesson, I should say, and Mines are 2-3. Let's see if Moises, kicking with the 8 of the breeze, scoreboard side of the ground, Mary Street end, moves in on goal. Gumpire, wait for his decision. It's a goal. It's a very good one, and that bridges the gap as Mines move up to 3-3, trailing the Lions 7-3. APCO Hardware scoreboard, Radio West Football.
We hope you're enjoying today's broadcast match of the day. Proudly brought to you by New Brown.
Game 7-3 to 3 goals 3 with the Lions in command. There's the bounce down, beautiful bounce by Netherland, taken out of the pack there by Barrett. He can't get beat the ball. However, there's a pack developed, and there'll be a bounce down right in the middle of the ground again. Well, this is developing into a good game of football, as I said, and it's interesting sitting here with Peter Betty and and his merchant, the Mayor John Dillon, because they're coaching respective sides, aren't they, and doing it deliberately.
Yes, they've done it very well indeed too, and they've very nice to have them in our broadcast box today. Here goes Mines coming out of defence. They're going to have to work hard now because this little guy Jeffries has been a very strong player for the Lions. Look at him pinpoint fight that ball, and it goes straight on the chest of the leading goal scorer for the season, and that's Tony Strano. Strano puts them into attack, up into the pocket, and again it's marked by Faulkner this time. Well, they use it very well indeed, do the Lions. They've been there for the last couple of years, and we see them in it again in 1991, and this fellow Faulkner has the ball midway between right half forward, right full forward pocket. Be a nice goal if he gets it into the breeze. It carries away. Good mark by Weineman, and they'll hold up the attack, and Mines have got to keep the heat on in this quarter if they're to be with the Lions at half-time. There goes the kick out towards the half-back flank. It's big pack of players. Two Lions defenders do connect down there forwards. It comes out now to Barrett. Here goes the runners for Mines. They've got it on the open spaces over on the right centre wing. They bounce the ball once and twice. It's Paul Barrett that's got it. He kicks it up to Khan. He's got to come into the game too. And as we say, they've got to go straight up the centre of the ground. And they do have that habit of the unorthodox style of play. If they play keepies off, here it goes up to full forward. It'll bounce on the edge of the square. It's the defence of Wellington out to the half-back flank. It favours Peter Rowe. He looks around first to his left, then to his right. Opts for the hand pass. It goes over towards the Mines Rovers. Big fellow there. He shoots on goal. It's a beauty if he's got it, but it's gone through for 1 point only.
Yes, well, that running player there was Paul Barrett. He beat the ball. Unfortunately, it didn't get there quick enough, and it threw for the minor score. Well, we see the kick out now by McKinnon. Drives it to the outer side of the ground there and looks for big Graham Jones. He runs over the top of it. Onto the left boot he goes. Quick recovery, but he's kicked it out on the full, I think. That is if Sullivan can't get to it in time, and it certainly is out on the full, and the free kick will be taken over there by the big ruckman, Alan Fontana, who's rucked very, very well today, yes. Alan Fontana. And I think I do agree. I think Jones might have to have his colours lowered to him today as Alan Fontana goes back. He had all his football in the Colts for the Miners, and now, of course, it developed into a very strong and powerful ruckman. There's the kick by Alan Fontana, drives it into the half-forward flank, up they go, tapped forward by McKinnon. Jones takes it out of the pack, over to Jeffries. Gee, they're finessing, shoots it over in the awaiting arms there, Robert Iato, and he drifts it down and finds Paul Sullivan is on the half-back flank position. He drives it inboard, Jeffries starting to motor, the motor starting to rev up now for the Harvey Brunswick side, I think, Peter Betty. Jeffries has picked up possessions in this term, shoots it to the outer side of the ground and finds Glenn Hutchinson. Well, Glenn Hutchinson, who's had a very interesting tussle with Steve Dabrowski here, up the wing position they go, out of the back of the pack come the Miners, picked up over there beautifully by Stephen Gray, and passes it over there to Barrett, onto the right boot he goes, down to half forward they go, but under in the last line of defence is none other than Robbie McKinnon, who is a specialist finals footballer now, Robbie McKinnon. Onto the right boot he goes, drives it up to the outer flank position, up they go, King's there, Jones is there, gets boot the ball over the line and out of bounds, around from the scoreboard, the Abco Hardware scoreboard, that reads, at the 12-minute mark of the second term, Harvey Brunswick 7 goals 3, leading Mines Rovers 3 goals 4.
Yes, and if Mines would get back into it, the signs are there now. They'd have to keep the heat on right now. They've got it in their forward line. It comes over the back of the back of the pack. It's taken by Peter Rowe. Rowe gets it out towards Mundy. Mundy features well again, and that's a very heavy knock after he took the mark too. And he's got the ball at the outside the 50. Goes for the short pass. Danger. Over the back comes Mooney. It spills down towards Dabrowski. Dabrowski shoots on goals at the Mary Street end, and it's gone through for a point. Peter Betty, they'll have to keep it on right now to be in the game at half-time, Mines.
Yeah, I think they've got to kick the ball longer. I think they're still kicking the ball too short going at the forward line, and they're playing the hospital side of the ground, which is going to make it hard for them. I think they've got to go straight down the middle, slightly this side, just kick long.
Well, Dr. Manea, you'd be doing more than sitting there thinking about the council budget at the moment.
Yes, Jeffries had 9 kicks, has scored it to Dabrowski 1.
There goes the ball back into play. Can Mines again they go to that defensive side of the ground. As Peter Betty told you, they won't score goals over there, and it's Crognali that soccers the ball off the ground. Nothing much in this game here, listeners, in the grand final. Whistle's gone. This could be a turning point, because this will give a free kick to Mines Rovers, and they will again go back into attack. We've played 13 minutes in the second quarter. On the Abco Hardware scoreboard, it's Mines 3-5. The Lions are 7-3. It's still anybody's game as Mines start to link up their short passing game now. It goes to Dabrowski. He thumps it over the back of the pack. Reads it well. He's gone. He's caught by Jeffries. In comes Khan. He gets Jeffries. The ball spills back here now towards Mines Rovers. The hand pass, I see Mark skiing down. That's danger signs. Mines go long. It's a big kick by Mines Rovers. It's cleared the pack, and it's off the boot. Off the boot of Paul Barrett and Dr. Manea. That's what you call going long, and they did it that time and scored a goal.
That's correct. And Jeffries again on top of Dabrowski, broke up the attack early.
Okay, well,
I think Skian's done an ankle, I'd say.
I tell you what, that wouldn't be good news for the Harvey Brunswick side. Skeen is about to be carried off the ground, and gee, the only way you'd normally get Mark Skeen off the ground is with a 10-ton truck, but he is. And by the look of that injury, he won't be coming back. I don't know whether it's a knee or an ankle, Peter.
I think that, Peter, he hasn't really played well. He's likely only had about 2 or 3 kicks, so it's not the Mark Skeen that we normally see, so likely just to come off the ground, have a bit of a spell. Obviously a little bit of ice on the ankle, come back after half time.
Well, you're hard taskmaster, because that man can hardly walk, and you reckon he'll be back on the ground, but
Yeah,
we pick up...
he'll be all right.
He'll
Well,
come
there
back.
we go. We've got a medical profession and a coach.
So we've done it right, Peter.
What more would you want? Okay, well, there's the kick away. Out of the fence they come, the Lions, into the middle of the ground, where it's taken by Sloane. He hand passes across to Paddy Papalia. Up to half forward they go, where Jones comes out and pulls a beauty down at the centre half forward position. Well, let's see what the Lions can do with this one. There's the short chip pass, looking for Tartaglia. He can't mark it at the back of the pack over there. How running under the drop of the ball is Faulkner. It shoots out of the pack over to Tartaglia. Onto the right foot. He puts through the major for the Lions. Good play there by Tartaglia. He read that play. Very, very loose defence there by the Miners. And Mario Tartaglia, who he came onto the ground at the quarter-time break, has booted his second goal for the term. And we see that Harvey Brunswick, 8 goals 3, go on and lead Mines Rovers 4 goals 5 at the 16-minute mark of the second term on Radio West Football.
We hope you're enjoying today's broadcast.
Radio West Football.
We approach the 16-minute mark of the second quarter. Another goal into the breeze by the Lions off the bit of Tartaglia that time. Here they go through Jeffrey. Big scrummage of play. Just repeating that Mark Skian come off with what appeared to be an ankle injury. Be interesting to see what happens after half time as we see him being carried off now down into the dressing rooms. Obviously walking into the dressing rooms, being supported by a couple of trainers.
Well, I tell you what, John, if I might, if he's walking, I'm a Chinaman.
Well, these being up here, we've got a coach and a medical man, so they know, and perhaps we are Chinamen. Here goes the ball up towards half forward. A couple of goals before half time. It brings Mines right back into this game as Big Sullivan's working overtime there. It spills out to Mooney. Here goes the speed of Mines Rovers now as it goes out into the open spaces. They know they need some goals before half time. The hand pass goes over to Macri. Macri in turn goes for the hand pass back to Sullivan. Sullivan keeps that ball on that regional hospital side of the ground, and his kick was under pressure and it's gone out of bounds on the full. We go towards 17-minute mark of the second quarter as we see the ball now once again with Mines that have to switch it across and kick it long. They kick with the breeze in this the second quarter of the grand final from Hands. There goes the big kick in towards the right full forward pocket. The big timbers there for Harvey Brunswick Lesnot down to Mundy, and the ball has gone over the line and out of bounds. Well, they need to score a goal from this move into the forward line. They are at the Mary Street end of the ground, and as I say, there is 17 minutes gone in the second quarter. There goes Mundy. He becomes a ruckman. He wins the tap down too. Big pack of players around the ball, and umpire Nettleton this time blows the whistle, and we'll see a bounce down take place about 20 metres out from the goal, which Mines Rovers are kicking to in this the second quarter. Fontana, what a beautiful tap. Armchair right down towards Barrett, but he couldn't get to the ball in time, and it goes out of bounds. He's played very well in the first half as Fontana. He knows he's got a big job to do. He jostles with Sloane. Gee, he's worked hard, as Fontana. He gets in front. A very good opportunity here for the forward line players as it goes down to Paul Barrett. He can't break away. It's under pressure. They keep it in their forward line again through Barrett, and that's jostling tactics taking place. It comes down towards Sullivan. It's desperate football down there. Is it still in play? Players hit the deck down there. Let's wait for another boundary throw in. It's going to be bounced down. The umpire had no alternative but to bounce it down. 18 minutes gone. Mines need a couple of goals before half time. McKinnon goes up and he's locked it in the forward line. Well, it's the Lions, Peter Elson, that have the ball, rather it is Mines Rovers that have the ball locked in their forward line, and a goal here to them would be of most importance.
Well, Monday wants to make that different. Out of the pack comes Jeffries. At the back of the ball there is Barrett. He's met head on there by Edo, but it's back by Barrett. Over he goes, shoots the hand pass to Bradley Barrett, but at the drop of the ball of the Lions once again, Dominic Crognali, he's playing soccer, but he's going to be too slow there, but at the back of the pack we see Austin Iedo, away he goes, comes down to the wing position, and he finds Russell Waterman Waterman, who's playing on Gary Winterton. Away goes Waterman, drives it up the member side of the ground here at Hands Oval. There's Hutchinson, he'll be awarded the free kick, and that's the way it goes now as pressure starts to mount here in the second semi, in the grand final in the second term here. As trainers run out there, they thought Hutchinson was injured, but he's not. In the meantime, over comes umpire Netherland, and he's going to speak to the Lions trainer, and that's the way, and if he doesn't watch it, there'll be a 50-metre penalty against him. That's the way it is. I tell you what, John, I agree with this one. There is one umpire you do not mess around with, is umpire Netherland. He spoke to the trainer from the Harvey Brunswick side, and the free kick has gone the way of Stephen Gray for the Miners. Away go the Miners, down to half forward, up goes the pack. It's really hotting up here in the final now. Over there is Mooney, and there is Mundy. Out goes Wellington in the waiting arms of Sullivan. Away goes Sullivan for the Lions, up to the wing. Prognali sets, he can't get boot the ball. Through comes Waterman. The pressure's on now. Onto the right boot they go. Waterman up the half forward, out to meet the ball now. Is Sandford, he belts the ball forward. Good play, son. Jeffries tackles in at the back of the pack there. It's picked up beautifully over there by Harvey Brunswick. Glenn Faulkner up to the half forward flank position they go. Tartaglia's there. He's trying to take possession but can't. At the back of the pack now is Tony Strano. Shoots it up to the half forward flank position where Rob Davison takes possession. He drives it into full forward. At the back of the pack is Jones. It's a one-on-one out there with Troy Fair and Jones. Who's going to win it? Neither can. Over the line and out of bounds on the outer side of the ground here in the deep forward pocket where we go look around and do an Etco Hardware score check. 8 goals 3 to 4 goals 5 with the Lions in control. There's the throw in. At the back of the pack it's Davison. He's been really revved up since warming the bench. He can't get beat to ball, however. Comes out to the back of the pack. It's picked up by Shane Sherwood. Onto the right boot he goes. Shoots it to the outer side of the ground where Papalier gets the drop of the ball. But scooping him up over there is Bradley Barrett. Onto the right boot he goes. Geez, muffed that one up. Over there running at the back of the pack there is Ieto. He can't get possession, however. Away he goes. That's good football. Hand pass it inboard to Sloan. He taps it on over there to Macri, but he can't get to it in time. Nor can Michael Barrett, and over the line and out of bounds on the outer side of the ground here at the 21-minute mark of the second term. We see 8 goals 3 to Harvey Brunswick, 4 goals 5 to the mighty Mines Rovers.
And there goes the ball thrown back into play. And you can see the disgust coming from our two guests here because Mines aren't using that ball long. They're still going zigzag and it's not working for them today. But they're going to get the benefit of a free kick here, and it will go the way of them by Damien Port now. Up towards the half-forward line he goes. Gee, they're getting the run of the whistle too. They need to pile some goals on the board. We've gone 21 minutes in. There it goes towards centre half-forward, and they've got it again because King's been carried forward, and he's trying to kick this long from 40 metres out. Dead in front. He's got the aid of the breeze behind him, and if he gets this, it'll be their 5th in what has been an entertaining first half so far. But yes, they've overdone the short stuff this time and bottled it up on that right centre wing. This is a grand final, as I heard one of the commentators say on television yesterday. Get the ball onto your boots, son, and kick it long. And Mines have been trying to bottle that ball up on that far side of the ground. Let's wait now for King. 40 metres out. Drop punt. Mary Street end. Length is there. Accuracy's there. They've got 5. On the APCO Hardware scoreboard, it's Mines that move along to 5 goals 5. They trail the Lions 8-3 on the APCO Hardware scoreboard. Radio West Football.
We hope you're enjoying today's broadcast match of the day. Proudly brought to you by Bunbury Carland. Building hardware and building supplies. Radio West Football.
Yes, well, we have about 4 minutes to go in the second term here, and as the good doctor said, a couple of goals here, and they're right in at the Miners. 8 goals 3 to 5 goals 5. Bounce down in the middle of the ground. Up they go. Cook taps it back in the waiting arms there on Monday. He can't get the boot to ball. However, I just think that the Harvey Brunswick side at this stage are a little bit rattled, Peter Betty. The fluency's not there, is it?
I don't think really. I think that 2 or 3 kicks go on Mines' way just in the last couple of minutes. But if Mines kick the ball long, and as Doc said, could kick another couple of goals before half-time, it could be a great second half.
Well, it's picked up by Peter Rowe at the back of the pack. Onto the left foot he goes, down to half-forward. In there is Frank Kahn, right in front of Sullivan. And we can write that down for the Brunswick Liquor Store mark of the day. Kick it long, says the doctor. That's exactly the way you should go with a breeze like this one. And Kahn walks back. Number 6 on his mark, of course, is number 32, Robert Ieto. Well, let's see what Frank Kahn can do with this one. He's about 50 55 to 60 metres out. Away goes the long kick. If he right kicks this one, it'll bring the house down, over the line and through for the minor score, where we see Mines Rovers 5-6, Harvey Brunswick 8 goals 3, and it's going to be very interesting in the next 2 or 3 minutes as to what happens in this game when we get to the long break. Well, here we have Sean Mooney, the veteran custodian for the Lions. He shoots it to the outer side of the ground. There up goes King. He can't take possession. Austin Iedo onto the left boot. He goes, should say Robert Iedo, up to the wing position. He goes where Rob Davison takes possession. Handball's inboard, but that danger man has it for the Miners. Gary King, look at the speeds to go. Onto the right boot, into full forward. They set and Sean Mooney off fingers and over the line and through for the minor score. Peter Betty, when Gary King gets hold of the ball, the crowd comes to life.
Yes, he's winning on that side. It might be an idea if they just change the wing and bring the ball across this side of the ground.
Well, Paddy Papalia, let's see what he's going to do with it on this occasion. No, he decides to kick it to the outer side of the ground then. The pack sets it. Up goes Davison. He gets boot the ball at the buck of the drop of the pack there, however. It's taken by the Miners over the line and out of bounds. It's Peter Rowe that couldn't get to it, right under the scoreboard at the 25-minute mark. That reads John Dillon. Harvey Brunswick 8 goals, 351 points, leading the Miners 5-7-37.
And it's red hot out there. Mines know the urgency of this as we approach the 25-minute mark of the second quarter. Let's see if they can find that elusive goal. Here's a chance through Barrett. There goes, gee, they're getting inaccurate, I feel. And that's their 8th point now. They've had a few shots there, Peter, that could have converted to goals. Peter Betty, I'm talking to, and could have made a bit of a difference, but they've been kicking points.
What a great hand pass by Peter Rowe. It should set the goal right up. It should have been kicked.
Yeah. Waiting now for Mooney to kick the ball back into play, and it's 5 goals 8, and Harvey Brunswick less not 8 goals 3. Oh, good mark, Peter Rowe. They still pound that side of the ground, the Lions, because they know it's the defensive side, and the Mines are trying to score that elusive goals before the half-time interval. This game's by no means over. It's a close one. Here comes Mundy. He's been a very prolific kick getter in the first half. He's outside the 50-metre line. He'll no doubt lob this ball long and strong towards the edge of the square. It's a high drop punt. Let's see if the height of Khan can get to the mark. Ooh. It comes to ground. The defence of the Lions are there, and it goes out of bounds. As we go up towards the 26-minute mark of the second quarter, the breeze, which is favouring the Mary Street end, the Lions did win the toss with Mark Skian, who has left the field, which what appeared to be an ankle injury. He's being treated at the moment. The hand pass shoveled out here. There's a good hand pass. Sets up a teammate for Mines. Another opportunity gone astray, out of bounds on the full. Peter, Peter, how does a coach feel when that happens, when you're watching it from the boundary?
Yeah, now there's another goal that's just gone begging. You know, the last 2 or 3 minutes, Mines had 3 or 4 shots. If 2 of those were goals, they'll be right in it.
Well, Dr. Benier, your hands are in the air.
Well, when Monday had his kick over there was someone standing alongside him. He could have just handballed it on and another kick. And as Peter said, 3 times Peter Rowe has delivered the ball to advantage, and they've messed it up.
Well, I tell you what, it's in the hands of Peter Rowe now. He was receiving a free kick in that pack there.
He might kick it himself.
He might kick it himself, and I tell you what, you could pretty well put money on this one, Peter Rowe. Good, classy footballer. There goes the left foot. Up and over it goes. The pack sets. Mooney and Moises, up they go. In there is Barrett. Out of the pack comes Robert Iedo. But through comes now Stephen Dabrowski.
Good hand pass.
Over to Gray. Gray over to Michael Barrett. He shoots on goal. Would you believe it? Through for the minor score again. Well, the good doctor, what did you think of that little movement there? I can see what we're all thinking about. The same move is on. They're just peppering the points. It's unfortunate for the Miners because, by gee, they've had some possessions in this term. As we now see McKinnon to drive the ball high, long and handsome. Out to half-forward they go. Mark. And Darren Mundy at the back of the pack. Write that down, John Dillon, for the Pastor Vino mark of the day. Darren Mundy took it beautifully at centre half forward from the kick out from the point, and he will elect to go long. There's no doubt about that. Away goes Munday. He drives it in the full forward pocket, and Paul Moises, he can't mark it. At the back of the pack is Paddy Papalia. Away go the Lions. Over to Crognali, over to Jeffries, back to Papalia. They're finessing now the Lions. Good football out of defence. Away goes Papalia up to the wing position. They set over there. Faulkner can't take possession of it. Yeah, there's a free kick, however, and it will go the way of the Dow defender, John Niski, who has played very, very well.
Sorry, Peter. They've had everything running for them in this segment of play in the last 15 minutes, haven't they?
They certainly have, John, but unfortunately the score is not on the board. We pick up play in the middle of the ground. It's Iedo that takes possession. Over to Faulkner, onto the right boot, shoots it to the outer side of the ground over there, and Rob Davison takes possession. He goes for the kick in ball, looking for Crognali. Can't find him. The Crogsy can't get to the drop of the ball, however. Over there is Hutchinson once again, socket out of the pack by Crognali. He's danger in the forward line, but he's a little bit too slow today because right on top of him is Shane Wine. lineman. Pack develops out of side of the ground there. Good play by the Mines Rovers in defence there. We check the Adco Hardware scoreboard at the 28-minute mark of the second term. Harvey Brunswick 8 goals 3, leading the Miners 5 goals 9.
And there goes the bounce down. It's the Lions that are in attack again. It's Davison that's making his presence felt in this second quarter. Up to full forward, and a timely mark is taken by Bradley Barrett. And in the last 15 minutes, listeners, it has been Mines that have dominated the play. Some brilliant work in the forward line from handballs and various things. They've had a bit of a run with the whistle, but they have not capitalised on the scoreboard. They switch the play this time over onto the South Bunbury Club Room side of the ground. Can Rowe keep the ball in play? He does. He's under pressure. Runs the full distance. Opts to go for the short pass. Nice mark is taken. Nice mark has been taken for Mines Rovers, and they will go forward through Niski. They're still in this game as we see them from the left half-back flank. There goes the drop punt. We've been fortunate because we've had sunshine. Nice mark to Hutchison. In from the side come Monday. Hutchison from the right centre wing will put Harvey Brunswick left on. Faulkner's clear at centre half forward. He takes the mark. Out goes the hand pass to Sullivan. Sullivan to Davison. Davison gets the front position. He's thumped out of the road, however, that time by the Shane Sherwood. And on the ground is a big pack of players as Davison gets himself back up the ground, and we'll see a bounce down take place. Well, let's see. Up at the half forward line now for Harvey Brunswick Lesnault, and it is the 4 to 5 goal breeze here, the southerly, that is favouring the Mary Street end. Nice tap by Mines. Here's a chance for him in the dying minutes of the second quarter as they drive the ball forward through Shane Sherwood up onto the right centre wing. Here comes the pace of King. He's explosive, this player. It's on the ground. It comes out now towards Harvey Brunswick Lesnault, and players been caught holding the ball, and they'll get a chance now. Let's look at that clock ticking over towards 29 minutes, and it's rather going to be a throw-in. I thought it was going to be a free kick to Mines, but it's a throw-in. It comes to Tony Strano. In the grand final here at Hands Oval. As we read the half-time scores at Hands Memorial Oval, we see the Adco Hardware scoreboard read Harvey Brunswick Lesnault 8 goals 3, Mines Rovers are 5 goals 9. Briefly to Rawlin in the studios of Radio West.